Is Japanese copyright potentially killing the market for anime games? Everyone, it's me, One Annie, and recently on Twitter I saw the name Budokai Tenkaichi 4 trending, and for those who don't know what that is, that's one of the OG Dragon Ball fighting games that came out on the PS2. Then I started thinking about Budokai, and then I was like, oh yeah, I remember the Budokai games during the loading screen process. They had these mini games where you could like pull swords out of the ground or eat food or do push-ups. You ever wonder why you don't see those anymore in fighting games or in games in general? I looked it up, and recently I figured out Bandai Namco made a copyright on that specific concept alone. I was kind of appalled by that. It's like you literally copywrote an entire concept for games that is just a fun little in-between thing. And then it got me thinking, is Japan's copyright system why most, if not all, anime games just don't hold up to the hype? As some of you know, Japan has a very strange copyright law. The ordeal that happened back into 2021 with Totally Not Mark getting hit by Toei Animation for copyright infringement. There is no general fair use law in Japan. If you look at doujin, which is any fan-made work, be it music, books, manga, and then obviously, shentai, most doujin are allowed to be made, which is where Comet comes in, which is Japan's like one of their biggest, if not the biggest con that they have, where a bunch of people get together and you can just buy fan-made music, books, anything, and just buy fan-made content. The only way I should say that doujin is like allowed to exist is if the creator or the company says it's good, or they don't say anything at all. Then it's just kind of in like a trust system where they turned a blind eye to it. But if that company or creator says, hey, I don't know about having doujins made, then it's like off limits in the trust system. It's like, okay, you said you don't want this, so no one's gonna do it. That obviously, people over in the US wouldn't do that, but in Japan, they're a lot more willing to, listen to what their wishes of somebody. Maybe we can learn a thing or two. So I decided to delve in and play a few anime games because just thinking about Budokai Tenkaichi 4, I was like, that's a good fighting game. Anime fighting games are usually relatively good. I played Kill la Kill If for this example, and this game came out late summer 2019. It's just a cut down version of the story to focus more on the fighting aspects and the multiplayer aspects. Unless it's Jump Force, we don't talk about that. Anime fighting games tend to be very just good, basic games because it's just a fighting game. It's really hard to mess up a fighting game. But then you have games like the Berserk Band of the Hawks games. And the Berserk game is a hack and slash field fighter. And if you don't know what that is, you basically get to plow through hordes of enemies, usually one mini boss in the middle of the level and then one mainline story boss at the end. Always the same with these games. The mechanics, they're fun. You can do crazy combos. You want to try your best to get through an entire level, maybe without taking damage, or maybe to get like the highest combo. It gets very, very stale very quick. And one thing that is always the same with these games is the UI, the HUD, and the out of battle shop and level up screen. It's such a lazy style. When you're making a game, it seems like you should make something that stands out and you want it to be flashy. I don't know anything about making a game, but if it was I would try and make something stand out and be flashy. So I started thinking maybe it was a copyright reason. Maybe the companies that make these games have a copyright on like that style of game, like anime retellings or anime what if games, which is basically anime retellings, but if they did like their own headcanon kind of thing. But the headcanon what if games and the retelling story games, like I said, same UI, same kind of style, and it's just getting a little stale and boring. It's been stale and boring for a while. Through my search, I found out more and more about how anime games are made and how a lot of them come to be. And I figured out that some animation studios that want a game made off of one of their IPs, they'll just outsource it to a company that has never made games before. They save even the tiniest amount of money. When you have this IP, you make this anime, you probably have the money to give it to a proper company, but it's just, in my opinion, it's just like, why? You have so many amazing IPs that if you, like I said, put in the money, you could have such amazing games and concept. IP and copyright definitely leans into this strange area that anime games are in right now. As well, the copyright stuff is why you don't really see too many Japanese anime YouTubers or review channels like we know over in the US, where we can show some of the topic that we're talking about on screen in like short clips or maybe images. In Japan, the companies have a heavy say on what can and cannot be made covering their content. Not so long ago, there was a Japanese movie review / recommendation channel that went by the name Fast Movies, and they basically made cliff note narration versions of why you should or shouldn't watch a movie. And they got hit with a major case, there being possible jail time, but I think in the end they settled on a payment for damages to whatever movie company it was, being, I believe, somewhere around 100,000. That kind of just goes to show how different things are when it comes to fair use and copyright over there compared to here. But back to the main topic of anime games. If you take a look at most anime games, they are made by Bandai Namco or Kotekmo. So it's highly possible they have some form of claim on the hack and slash field fighter story retellings what if games, which might be the reason why others can't put their hands into the arena to make an anime game, which honestly, it's a bummer, as there could be some really amazing games in so many different styles as well. Like, there have been some MMOs made around the SAO games, and, you know, they're all right, but, you know, it just, they never turned out that great. It's just, if you let other companies, you know, maybe try it, if this is a copyright reason, like if they have a hold over that style of game with the UI and the HUD, if you just let some other people try at it, you could get something really cool. And who knows, if Japan maybe eases up on some of their things, there could be so many amazing dedicated Japanese anime YouTubers if they, like I said, if they would just ease up on the copyright stuff. But who knows? Japan is said to be 5 steps ahead in technology, but 10 steps back when it comes to business practice and embracing new concepts. That's kind of all I really wanted to talk about. I didn't really have like a final answer to this, sadly, to know if like they really did have a copyright on this style of game. I couldn't find anything. I searched for hours and I couldn't find a single thing, but I might have just been looking in the wrong spot. I just kind of wanted to throw this out into the world to maybe get some more people thinking about it and just like come to understand that we could be getting some really great anime games if maybe the copyright, if that is what it is, wasn't so tight. And overall, thank you for watching. Like, comment, bell, subscribe as you always do, and, you know, make big channel number get bigger. As always, you can follow me over on Twitter and Twitch. I do appreciate it, and look forward to more videos very soon. Thank you for watching, everybody.